Hey superachievers! Today I'd like to talk about personal accountability. I am convinced that if every person on this planet decided to be personally accountable, then we would finally achieve world peace. Seriously. President Harry S. Truman was a champion of accountability. He had a sign with the inscription, "The buck stops here," on his desk. That was meant to indicate that he didn't pass the buck to anyone else but accepted personal responsibility for the way the country was governed. Personal accountability is about following through on your commitments and doing what you said you'd do. It's about recognizing that others are dependent on the results of your work. It's about open, proactive communication to keep others informed on the status of your commitments, because it has a direct impact on their ability to achieve their own commitments. See, superachievers, accountability in the workplace is linked to higher performance. The question this brings us to is, how do you know you're being personally accountable? Enter the ladder of accountability. I came across the ladder of accountability when researching high performance. Unfortunately, I could not find to whom I can credit for this great piece of work. However, apparently it has been utilized for many years in business courses across the globe. Let's start at the bottom of the ladder. The very first rung is the "I didn't know" rung. If you're sitting on this rung, you pretend that there isn't a problem. What problem? As if not acknowledging it will make it not exist. The second rung on the ladder is the blame others rung. This is where you are aware the problem exists, but deny responsibility and shift the blame to others. If you've read my book, Quit Bleeping Around, 77 Secrets to Superachieving, you know that blaming others is for losers. The third rung on the ladder is the excuses rung. When you're sitting here, you avoid responsibility by claiming confusion or incompetence. You're avoiding tough issues and situations. The fourth rung on the ladder is the wait and hope rung. When you're here, you know that there's a problem that requires action, but decide to wait and hope that things will magically improve. All of the four rungs on the bottom of the ladder that I just mentioned are considered victim behaviors. This is where your mindset is that things are happening to you. There's no responsibility for either your behavior or your responses to external issues that arise. Now on to the accountable behaviors, where instead of things happening to you, things happen because of you. The fifth rung on the ladder is the acknowledge reality rung. When you're here, you acknowledge the reality of the situation, event, or circumstances. The sixth rung is where you own it. When you are here, you own the problem and you honor your commitments and responsibilities. No excuses, no blaming others. The seventh rung is the find solutions rung. When you're here, you own the problem and the solution. You actively seek to implement solutions either by yourself or through others. Finally, the eighth rung, make it happen. When you are here, whether or not you are the sole decision maker, you assume responsibility for implementing the solution and ensuring its success. You are completely personally accountable. Even the more accountable of us vary from which rung they are on depending on the circumstances. For example, you may normally find yourself on the top half of the ladder, but then blame traffic for you being late to a meeting, which means you dip down to the second or third rung. So here are some questions to ask yourself to improve your personal accountability today. Are you able to admit your mistakes, be honest with yourself, and look at what your role is when things go wrong? Do you voluntarily apologize and take responsibility when something goes wrong? Do you continually seek feedback from others on how you can improve yourself, as well as look for ways you can make positive changes in your work or home environment? Do you seek out responsibility, get things done, and carefully review your bandwidth before agreeing to new responsibilities? Do you meet your commitments and don't make ones you can't keep? So just a few things for you to reflect on today.